Holy cow, good morning Reptile Army. Welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is amazing. I know my day is going to be amazing because I am getting a couple, or I should say I've got in my hand right now, a couple dream animals. And I know I say that, and I mean it every time I say it's a dream animal, but I never thought I would get these, to be honest with you. They're kind of those animals that are incredible, but hardly anyone works with, so when they are available, they usually get snatched up right away, and I never thought I was going to get an opportunity because I didn't have any close friends that were actually breeding them. But my buddy over at Golden Coast Exotics actually reached out to me and they had some babies and he said, hey, would you be interested? I was like, are you kidding me right now? Yeah, I would be interested. So what do you say we just go ahead and unbox these things? Deep breath. I'm telling you, right, not only am I excited, but you guys can't see, but the rest of the guys are over here. They're looking too because they are excited too. Now these won't go directly here at the Reptarium, potentially. I don't know, maybe they will, but they definitely are going to be over here soon. And they are really, oh my gosh. I just opened the, oh my gosh. They are so amazing. First off, they're bigger than I expected, and they are more spectacular. I mean, you guys don't even understand. You guys don't even understand the feeling that I have right now because I'm like starting to tear up with emotion. That's, wow. So these are what they call, I gotta collect myself here. Wow. I mean, there's not many animals that have done this to me where I get this emotional, like overwhelmed feeling. But these are what they call Madagascan tree boas, or Sanzinia madagascariensis. Now, these are like the pinnacle when it comes to a lot of snakes. You got to remember that Madagascar, most of the animals are Appendix 1 endangered. This particular animal, or this species of animal, is what they call vulnerable status, which is Appendix 1 endangered. So these guys are unbelievably rare. You obviously can't import, export them, do anything like that. So only the animals that are being produced in America we can actually get, because you cannot cross the country lines with them. And thankfully, they were born here and are unbelievable. I mean, this is absolutely mind-blowing. And the male and female are actually from unrelated bloodlines, which makes it even more incredible. I mean, these guys are born kind of a reddish color. You can see it's kind of a tan, reddish color right now. It's going to eventually turn into a green animal. Again, we call that an octogenic color change. Now, these are from the east part of Madagascar. And again, they're relatively rare in Madagascar, but they are exceedingly rare in collections here. And for me to have these right now is blowing my mind. This is the little girl right now, and she is spectacular. Let's look at the male, and I'm finally starting to get my wits about me. I swear to gosh, I don't even remember what happened once I saw her the first time. I think I blacked out. I'm going to have to watch back the video to remember because I cannot believe how incredible they are. Like I said, going back to, again, my early ages when I first was like looking at all these books like Living Snakes of the World from John Mertens, and I saw the Sanzinia madagascariensis, I was blown away. And here all these years later, literally 35, 40 years later, is the first time that I've actually owned these guys, and all the males are ripper too. He's just a little bit smaller and a little bit less red, but an absolute ripper. And again, I've never even handled baby Sanzinia. Now, I've been to collections that have had adult Sanzinia, and I've been able to actually interact with them, but these are the first little Sanzinia I've ever actually handled. And to think that they're ours, gonna be here at the Reptarium. Again, a tree boa, but a very calm tree boa. We know that the emerald tree boas and the green tree pythons really aren't handling snakes. You know, we certainly know Lucky, the Amazon tree boa, but when it comes to the Sanzinia, they're typically very docile animals, right? And again, in the wild, they're going to spend most of the time up in the trees, especially with that octogenic color change turning green. They're going to stay up in the trees and they're going to eat mammals and birds. These guys will occasionally climb to the ground and actually eat mammals off the ground too in the wild, but they're mainly tree-dwelling animals. They have live young. These are live-born babies. They'll have anywhere from like 6 to up to 12 as a big litter. Unbelievable. Again, the male and female are unrelated, so we actually have an unrelated pair that we can breed in years to come. But listen, I'm not even worried about breeding these guys. I'm just enjoying keeping them. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? I am freaking out. These things are so absolutely amazing. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of them. Obviously, they need names, right? Madagascan names. We got the beautiful boy and this unbelievably ripping female right here. She is a stunner. So there you have it, guys. Some more dream animals that I honestly never in a million years thought that I would own. I mentioned that there were a couple other boas in Madagascar. Well, this happens to be Gerald, the male Dumeril's boa. These are actually ground boas. Now, the other two species are actually both ground boas, and this is actually, believe it or not, the more common one here in America. But what I've heard in Madagascar, these are less common, but all three of them are what they would call vulnerable or Appendix 1, like I had mentioned. This is an Acrantophorus dumerili. Absolutely wonderful snakes. They'll get about maybe 7, 8 foot. A big female might get up to 10 foot. They are absolutely amazing. All three of the boas in Madagascar are live bearers, but Dumeril's actually can have a pretty large litter. I actually used to breed these when I was younger, and I had litters that were in the mid-20s. So they come out absolutely beautiful, and they're really an incredible pet snake. There's no doubt about it. If they were more common like the common Colombian boas, they would probably be more popular because their placid disposition is just absolutely incredible. This is actually another Dumeril's boa here. This is named Breadloaf, and he's a bigger version, of course, Gerald. And the other ground boa I don't work with, unfortunately, but they actually look pretty similar to the Dumeril's boa. Those are actually Acrantophorus madagascariensis, or what they would sometimes call Malagasy ground boas. Now, they'll have a little bit less pattern, and they are a little bit more pink and stuff like that, and they can get really large as well. They can get up to 10 foot with really large specimens. But the thing that's interesting about the Malagasy ground boas is the fact that they actually only have usually like maybe 5 or 6 babies, but they're like 2 to 3 times the size as a baby Dumeril's boa, which is pretty darn awesome. Now, they are much less common here in the States. I mean, hardly anyone is working with them. I wish I could get some. Trust me, they are on my wish list. Just like the Sanzinia, I want to get some Malagasy ground boas. It's a dream snake for sure. So hopefully we'll be on the lookout for those guys as well. But they are a really interesting snake, but I love the ground boas. And Madagascar as a whole is just a very unusual country. It's actually a couple hours off the coast of South Africa, and I've got to get there one day because all of their animals are so absolutely incredible.
Just finished up Lucky. Now, Lucky had just shed out, and I have to show you guys him. He looks already ready to light me up. I am going to try to keep the bites to a minimum because although it's not the worst in the world. Jesus. Ow. Ow, that hurt too. Not the fingers of the face. Ow. Please, ow. 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 You woke up and chose violence today? I know. One more for the road? Alright, get your tooth out. Get your tooth out. There you go. So the good thing is, like, obviously, I don't want to pull my hands away from him or anything like that. I know. I'm just trying to get you back in there, bud. Keeping it all to a minimum as
What are you doing?
Oh God, how many times he gets
I didn't even know. Yeah. Honestly, you could probably count them on my hands. It looks like a whole lot of like craziness, but believe it or not, guys, snake bites really aren't that bad. I say ow and stuff like that, but it's mainly I'm just being funny. It's not the worst thing in the world. In like 5 minutes, these are going to be all gone, and you're never going to see them again.
Of course, Karma 2.0 is from Madagascar as well. It's interesting with the panther chameleons, they actually all look different depending on their locality. This is what they would call a nosy bee, which is really cool. Of course, they always this kind of bluish color. They can be a little lighter blue, darker blue, stuff like that, but they are always blue from nosy bee. Panther chameleons are really cool. I think personally they're the best chameleon pet because they're just really cool. Of course, veil chameleons, there's tons of those out there, and they're really cool as well, but there's something just better about the panthers to me. They've got softer pads, so they're not as hard to handle, and they're usually super docile. Absolutely love Karma the chameleon. It's super cool, but we actually work with a few different types of panther chameleons. And by types, I actually mean localities, because again, every locality is a little bit different. This is Fruit Loop here, which is an Ambalomi, and it's just amazing. Again, these guys can sometimes have more yellow in them, sometimes they'll have a little bit more blue, but they always have kind of that same similar thing, and that's what makes panther chameleons so interesting, right? Is that you can get whatever color you kind of want. If you want one that's blue, you can get a nosy bee. If you want one that is colored like a Fruit Loop, you can get an Ambalomi. There's yellow ones, there's green ones. I mean, they are just such a dimorphic animal when it comes to locality, and it's so interesting, right? And Fruit Loop is definitely an absolute ripper. Then the last locality of panthers that we actually work with is actually called a nosy phalla, which is still kind of a combination almost of the Ambalomi and nosy bee in a little bit. They have kind of a bluish color to them, but they also have a lot of red on them, and this guy is actually fired down right right now, which means that you don't see a lot of the blue. That's the thing that's interesting about chameleons, right? They can kind of change color in a way, but they don't change color like most people think. They won't go from this color to purple to yellow and stuff like that. They just basically change the hues of color. They actually have what they call a guanine crystal interlace that basically can tighten and loosen, which basically refracts light and changes the actual color of the animal. So no, your chameleon is not going to be polka dotted just because you're wearing a polka dotted shirt, but they definitely are very diverse when it comes to colors. But interestingly enough, female panther chameleons actually typically look like this no matter what locality they are. It's the males that actually look absolutely beautiful. This is a nosy bee, just like Karma 2.0, and instead of being blue, she's kind of a peachy kind of tan color, and pretty much all localities are going to look that way when it comes to females. And this girl, hopefully maybe next year, will be large enough to breed to Karma 2.0, and maybe we'll get some baby nosy bees. That would be absolutely incredible. But chameleons are amazing, and Madagascar continues to impress.
Okay guys, so today we're gonna see if Vlad the legless lizard won't try to go through a little paper towel tube to get some superworms. Jeez, dude, he is nuts. Oh, it was so close. Looky, I got two bees. That was almost my not no nice. Through the tube. We're gonna get it, dude. See the bug in the tube? Ooh, God, this thing is nuts. Like he's just playing with it now. Dude, I can roll on it.
He's like, I'm a lot quicker with this wheel.
Another super impressive genus from Madagascar are the Uroplades. That's right, that's all the leaf-tailed geckos. This happens to be a Uroplade fimbriatus, and it's one of the larger species of Uroplades or leaf-tailed geckos in Madagascar. But there are dozens and dozens, I don't even know, maybe more than that, species of Uroplades that are all endemic to Madagascar. They're such incredible animals. Look at those eyes on that thing. I've said it before, these guys can see 300 times better than humans, especially in dark. And it's one of the only animals that can actually see in full color in pitch black. That's right, full color in pitch black. That is absolutely incredible. And you can see that beautiful leafy tail, hence the name leaf-tailed gecko. I tell you what, Madagascar, I've never been there yet. I've been to South Africa a bunch of times. I've got to get over to Madagascar because, hey, with the deforestation and all these animals becoming more and more threatened, we need to get there before it's gone, right? And we need to do a better job of protecting it as well. Madagascar is truly incredible. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I tell you what, that unboxing was absolutely incredible. Can't wait to get these guys over to the Repterra. It's going to be amazing. If you enjoyed the video, here's a whole playlist of unboxing a ton of stuff. You can do me another favor. Over here, hit that subscription button. Turn your post notifications on. Have an absolutely wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you guys in the next one.